Hi guys, welcome to NVC review. I was just going to talk about the situation in Syria because a lot of people have been constantly asking me about what I think about this, and it's been a very hot kind of topic on the news to begin with. Why is there a Russian military buildup in Syria? So there's a couple of factors that go into here. First of all, the Kremlin's response was actually quite interesting because they said they didn't deny the involvement. They said we've actually been sponsoring the government there with our weapons in order to fight terrorism. That was the official response from Kremlin. They owned up to it, basically said, yes, we are providing weapons to the Syrian regime. Obviously, Israel is concerned about this because from the Israeli standpoint, they're concerned whether or not these weapons will make their way toward Hezbollah. And there's been some accusations that over the years, this is exactly what's been happening, and if this was not the case, Hezbollah wouldn't be as powerful. Now, the second part to this entire fiasco is, of course, the fact that Benjamin Netanyahu and Vladimir Putin have just met in Moscow. Now, this is kind of huge because obviously these are not countries that typically tend to align themselves in the same geopolitical sphere of interest. Israel tends to align itself more with the Western allegiance to the United States, obviously, and Russia not at all, actually, the other way around. So that to me is almost a bigger geopolitical development over the past week than the fact that there's military troops and the Russian equipment in Syria. Now there's an interesting opinion that, obviously you can't really prove this, but this is just the analysis, that Vladimir Putin is not really interested in maintaining the Assad regime in power, but they're simply trying to broadcast themselves and project themselves to be this new superpower, the go-to superpower when it comes to international relations. In the past, you could kind of ignore Russia when it comes to main geopolitical developments, but Vladimir Putin has reached his goal, in my view, of actually making Russia one of the major players in international relations. And so Israel, I think, recognizing this fact, Benjamin Netanyahu simply said that we have to have a dialogue with Russia in order for these type of problems to be solved. Now remember, originally with Assad, United States wanted to run airstrikes and have a possibly maybe larger military intervention in Syria, but Vladimir Putin kind of took the wind out of the sails and said, no, we can solve this diplomatically. So he actually got ahead of the situation in that instance, and seems to be ahead of the situation in this instance as well. So it's quite interesting. As far as our World Instability Index model, the way our model works is we take a look at certain indicators, economic, ethnic, cultural, etc., in order to make our forecasts. So this type of a situation, unfortunately, doesn't give us anything new to work with. So right now, it's difficult to see whether or not the Russian efforts within the region will actually stabilize that part of the Middle East, or whether or not it's going to make it worse. Right now, it seems like there's going to be no difference. Unless Syria itself begins to be more economically independent, more economically developed, then we really can't forecast any definitive change in the situation there. That's as far as the World Instability Index is concerned that we do with NVC Review. Other than that, we will continue to monitor things for you. Please try to tune into our World in Review segments. They air on Mondays every week, to where we basically in those shows give you 5 major geopolitical events that have happened in the past week, and give you the reasons as to why we ranked them the way we did. Thanks for tuning in, and keep an eye out for more international news. Bye-bye.